Have you ever felt like you're spinning your wheels in your tech career? You're putting in the hours, delivering solid work, but somehow you're invisible when it comes to promotions or new opportunities. Here's the truth. Career stagnation, it isn't about technical skills. It's about your mindset and how you show up in your organization. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to break free from career stagnation. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so that you're notified every time I post a new video on career advancement strategies for tech leaders. My name is Ryan Stoltzfus. I'm the founder of the Job Hackers Network. I help US-based tech leaders to stand out by executing a strategic job search focused on networking directly with hiring leaders. I've worked with hundreds of managers and directors who felt completely stuck in their careers. And by implementing the mindset shifts that I'm sharing today, they transformed their career trajectories. So let me tell you about one of those clients. He was a director of engineering who'd been with his company for 5 years. He was consistently delivering results, but he was watching younger peers get promoted around him. He felt undervalued, he felt stuck, and honestly, he started doubling down on his own capabilities. When we started working together, he said to me, "Ryan, I'm doing everything right. Why am I invisible?" The problem wasn't his work. It was how he was thinking about his work and his career. Within 4 months of shifting his mindset and his approach, he landed a VP role at a company that was better aligned with his own goals, with a significant compensation increase to go along with it. More importantly, he rediscovered his confidence and he gained clarity about his value. That's the power of the right mindset shift. Now, before we dive into the specific strategies, I want to offer you something. I've recorded a free 20-minute training that walks you through my complete framework for accelerating your career as a tech leader, and you'll find the link in the description below to that training. Watch it after this video to get the full roadmap. So, let's talk about why career stagnation happens in the first place. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't get stuck because you lack skills. You get stuck because you stop growing in the ways that matter at the next level. Think about it this way. When you first became a manager, you had to shift from being an individual contributor to leading a team. That required a mindset shift, right? You went from, how do I solve this problem, to how do I enable my team to solve this problem? The same principle applies when you're trying to move from manager to director or director to VP. And here's where people get trapped. They keep doing the same work that got them promoted the last time. They think if I deliver great work, somebody will notice. But at the director level and above, nobody's looking for great work. They're looking for strategic thinking, broader influence, and the ability to identify problems that aren't being addressed yet. One of my clients put it this way: I feel like I was working harder than ever, but I was becoming less relevant. That's the brutal reality of career stagnation. You're running on a treadmill, exhausting yourself, but going nowhere. What's the root cause? A fixed mindset about your role and your capabilities. Today, I'm going to walk you through 4 critical mindset shifts that will break you out of career stagnation. These aren't fluffy motivational ideas. These are practical, tactical approaches that my clients have used to transform their careers. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear action plan to shift from feeling stuck to feeling unstoppable. So let's get into it. The first mindset shift is the hardest one, but it's also the most important. You have to acknowledge where you are right now without judgment. Most people skip this step. They either deny the reality of their situation or they beat themselves up about it. Neither approach helps. Here's what I tell my clients. Career stagnation is not a reflection of your worth or your skill set. It's simply information telling you that something needs to change in how you're approaching your career. Think about it like debugging code. If you're getting an error, do you take it personally? No, you look at it objectively and figure out what needs to be fixed. Your career is the same way. One of my clients, a director in a Fortune 500 tech company, spent years blaming his company's politics for his lack of advancement. "Ryan," he told me, "the system is rigged. I'll never get ahead here." So I had him do a simple exercise. Write down exactly where he was in his career without any blame or judgment, just the facts. I'm a director. I've been in this role for 3 years. I want to be a VP. I haven't been considered for VP roles. Then I asked him, what's one thing you control that could change your outcome? That question shifted everything for him. He stopped seeing himself as a victim of the system and started seeing himself as somebody who could influence the system. One of my favorite mantras in my program when I'm working with my clients is control the controllable. It's a life-changing concept when you really dig in and start to get it. Within 6 months, he was having conversations with the C-suite about strategic initiatives. He positioned himself as a strategic problem solver. And a year later, he got that VP promotion that he'd been wanting. The lesson here: acceptance isn't resignation, it's clarity. When you acknowledge where you are without self-judgment, you free up all that mental energy to focus on what you can actually control. The second mindset shift is learning to reframe challenges as opportunities. This sounds simple, but most tech leaders struggle with this because they're trained to see problems as things to eliminate or solve quickly, not embrace. But at the director level and above, the best opportunities for visibility and impact come from solving problems that nobody else wants to touch. Let me give you a specific example. I work with a director of engineering who was frustrated. Why? Because she kept getting assigned things that she called messy projects. Teams that were underperforming, systems that were breaking, initiatives that had failed multiple times. So she told me, Ryan, I feel like I'm being set up to fail. Why do I always get the cleanup work? So I asked her, what would happen if you reframe this? What if these messy projects are actually your biggest opportunity to demonstrate VP level thinking? She looked at me like I was absolutely crazy. But then we dove in. We did the work. We analyzed her stories. And what we discovered was that she had an incredible track record of team turnarounds. She had taken 3 underperforming teams and transformed them into high-performing groups. But she was framing this negatively in her own mind and in how she verbalized and how she talked about her work. She shifted that narrative. Instead of, I always get stuck cleaning up other people's messes, we reframed it to, I specialize in organizational transformation and team turnarounds. This changed everything here and in how she was received. She started approaching these projects with confidence instead of resentment. She documented her methodology to create a formal turnaround framework. And then she interviewed for her next role. She positioned herself as someone who thrives in complex, ambiguous environments. She landed a VP role at a hypergrowth startup specifically because of her expertise in this area. Here's the key insight. The challenges you face, they aren't roadblocks. They're your curriculum. Every difficult project, every conflict, every failure, it's teaching you something that will be valuable at the next level. The question is, are you learning from it? Or are you just surviving? Start asking yourself, what skill is this situation helping me develop? Maybe it's stakeholder management. Maybe it's influence without authority. Maybe it's resilience. Whatever it is, name it, own it, and add it to your toolkit, to your arsenal. Because when you reframe challenges as development opportunities, you stop being a victim and you start being a strategist.
Are you ready to start or optimize your job search process? Do you feel stuck and need help connecting the dots? Join this free web class where you'll learn the step-by-step formula to control your career progression. We've helped hundreds of experienced engineering and operations leaders just like you to build their brand and grow their impact. Register for this exclusive training today to step into the driver's seat of your career.
The third mindset shift is about goal setting, but not in the way you think. Most people try to escape career stagnation by setting big, audacious goals. I'm going to become a VP this year. I'm going to completely reinvent myself. And then they get overwhelmed and they do nothing. Here's what works. Small, achievable goals that build momentum, building a series of wins that demonstrates you're already thinking and operating at that next level. Let me walk you through how this works. Start by identifying one area where you can expand your influence beyond your immediate team. Maybe it's volunteering to lead a cross-functional initiative. Maybe it's offering to present at an all-hands meeting on a topic that you're passionate about. Maybe it's reaching out to a leader in a different department to learn about their challenges, to share insights. The goal isn't to take on a massive project. The goal is to start being visible beyond your current sphere. One of my clients was a manager trying to get to a director. We started with one simple goal: have a conversation with one senior leader per month. Not to ask for a job, not to pitch yourself, just to learn about their challenges and to share your perspective. Within 3 months, he'd built relationships with 3 VPs who had previously not had a line of sight to him. They didn't even know he existed. One of those VPs mentioned a problem that they were facing. My client said, "I actually dealt with something similar last year. Would you like for me to share what we learned?" That conversation led to him getting tapped to lead a strategic initiative across multiple departments, which gave him director level visibility, which led to him getting promoted 6 months later. Here's the key. He didn't start by trying to solve a massive company problem. He started by having one conversation, then another, small goals, consistent action, momentum building. That's how you break out of stagnation. Not with dramatic gestures, but with strategic incremental moves that position you differently. So here's your action item. Identify one small goal for this month that expands your visibility or your influence. Just one. Do it. Document the outcome. Build on it next month. That's how careers accelerate. The fourth and final mindset shift is about feedback. Most people, they avoid feedback because they're afraid of what they'll hear. But if you're stuck in your career, feedback is the fastest path forward because you have blind spots. We all have blind spots. And the people around you, they can see things about your performance and your brand that you simply can't see yourself. I had a client who was a director who'd been passed over for VP twice. He's frustrated. He was confused. He says, "Ryan, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I deliver results. I lead my team well. What am I missing?" I asked him, "Have you asked?" He looked at me blankly. "Have you actually asked the people making these decisions what they need to see from you to be considered for a VP?" He hadn't. So we crafted a strategic approach to seek feedback. Not defensively, not apologetically, but with genuine curiosity and openness. He scheduled one-on-ones with his skip-level leader and 2 other VPs that he respected. He asked them, "I want to continue growing in my career. What's one area where you think I could have more impact at the VP level?" The feedback that he got was eye-opening. One VP told him, "You're incredibly strong operationally, but I rarely hear you weigh in on strategic decisions. I'd love to see you share your perspective more often in leadership meetings." Another one said, "You have great ideas, but you tend to wait for permission to act on them. At the VP level, we need people who can identify opportunities and drive initiatives without being asked." This feedback was gold. It gave him a clear roadmap for what to focus on. Within the next quarter, he intentionally shifted his behavior. He started speaking up more in strategic discussions. He initiated a pilot program to address a gap that he'd identified. He sent weekly updates to senior leaders about this team's impact on company goals. 6 months later, when another VP role opened, he was the obvious choice. So here's the lesson. Feedback, it isn't criticism, it's intelligence. It tells you exactly what you need to do to get unstuck. It's a roadmap. But you have to be willing to hear it without getting defensive. And you have to be willing to take action. So here's your challenge. This week, reach out to one person whose opinion you respect. Ask them, what's one area where you think I could have more of an impact? Listen. Don't defend. Don't explain. Just listen. Thank them. And then decide what to do with that information. After you do it, make sure you get back with them and that they know you took that action as well. That's also key. That simple act of seeking feedback demonstrates a growth mindset. And that growth mindset is what separates people who stay stuck from people who break through. Let me bring this all together for you. Career stagnation, it isn't a life sentence. It's a signal that something needs to change in how you're approaching your career. The 4 mindset shifts that we covered today, here they are again. Number 1, acknowledge where you are without judgment. Get clear on the facts of your situation so that you can focus on what you control. Number 2, reframe challenges as opportunities. Every difficult situation is teaching you skills that you'll need at the next level. 3, set small, achievable goals that build momentum. You don't need to make massive changes overnight. You need consistent strategic action. Number 4, seek feedback actively. The fastest way to identify your blind spots is to ask people that you respect what they see. These mindset shifts work because they fundamentally change how you show up. Instead of being reactive and frustrated, you become proactive and strategic. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you become the architect of your career. One of my favorite client testimonials came from a director who said this: "Working with Ryan didn't just help me get promoted. It helped me understand how to think about my career in a completely different way. I'm no longer waiting for opportunities. I'm creating them." That's magic. That's the beauty right there. Creating opportunities for yourself. That is control. And it also is what's possible when you shift your mindset. So here's my question for you. Where are you feeling stuck right now? Are you frustrated because you're not getting promoted? Are you putting in the hours but not seeing the recognition? Are you wondering if you need to leave your company to move forward? If any of this resonates with you, I want to help. I've created a free 20-minute training that will show you how to take ownership of your career by mastering your personal brand, managing your visibility, and working smarter, not harder. You'll find the link in the description below. Watch it right after this video. And if you are ready to take this work deeper, if you want a structured program with expert coaching and a mastermind community to support you, then book a career strategy call with my team. The link for that is also going to be in the description below. The reality is this: you don't have to stay stuck. You have more control than you think. You just need the right framework and the right support to unlock it. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and drop a comment below telling me which mindset shift resonated the most with you. And make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss future videos on career advancement strategies for tech leaders. Check out these videos next for more tactical guidance on breaking through career plateaus and positioning yourself for that next level role. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.